Hello students, welcome to science class. This is your science teacher Neha Gandhi. Today we will continue with chapter 4, materials, metals and non-metals. And today's topic is chemical properties of metals and non-metals. In our previous video we have discussed about the physical properties, and today we will discuss about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So let's start. First is reaction with oxygen. You are familiar with the phenomenon of rusting of iron. In your previous class you have studied about this phenomenon. What is rusting? Rusting, it is the process in which when iron comes in contact with oxygen and moisture, it get rust. Okay, that brownish substance which deposits, that layer which deposit on iron, that is called the rusting. Okay, so you have to recall the reaction by which rust is formed. You had also performed in class 7 an activity of burning of magnesium ribbon in the air. What happens is when magnesium ribbon is burned in the air, then what it forms? Here you can see in this reaction what it will form. It will form magnesium oxide. So let us see in detail. You have to complete the reaction of iron and magnesium with oxygen. Okay, so see, first reaction, this iron is also metal and magnesium is also metal. So here we will discuss about first reaction first. This iron, when iron it comes in contact with oxygen and moisture, then what happens? It forms rust. It forms Fe2O3. This is bit of ferric oxide. Okay, and in moisture, here it comes moisture also, then the formula becomes 2H2O. This actually H2O, this is a complete formula of rust. Okay, so normally what happens when iron it comes in contact with oxygen, it forms ferric oxides, and when magnesium ribbon is burned in the presence of oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. Okay, so by this reaction we can understand that when metals they react with oxygen, they form metal oxides. Here when iron is reacts with oxygen, it forms ferric oxide Fe2O3, and when magnesium is reacts with oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. Formula is MgO. That means whenever metals they react with oxygen, they form metal oxides. What they form? Metal oxides. Okay, now we will test what is the nature of these oxides. Are they acidic or they are basic in nature? So let us check. See this activity 4.3. Let us check the nature of rust formed as the result of the reaction between iron, oxygen and water. Collect a spoonful of rust and dissolve it in a very little amount of water. You will find that rust remains suspended in water. Now shake the suspension well and test the solution with red and blue litmus papers. What do you observe? Is the solution acidic or basic? Means that students, what you have to do here, you have to collect a spoonful of rust. Here you can see in this diagram, this is rust. Here one spoonful of rust you have collected here, and you have dissolved this rust in very little amount of water in this test tube. Okay, this is a rust suspension. You have dissolved the rust with water. Now shake the suspension well. After shaking, what you will find? You will test the solution with red and blue. Means this solution, this rust suspension, you will test this solution with the litmus paper. Okay, now what is this? Beta, we know that in your previous class also you have studied that this red and blue litmus paper, these are called the indicators. Okay. Indicators means they are used to test the acidity and basicity of a substance. Red litmus paper, it turns blue when the solution is basic. Okay, red litmus paper, it turns to blue when the solution is basic in nature. Okay, and this red litmus paper, it remains red when the solution is acidic. Similarly, blue litmus paper, okay, it turns red when the solution is acidic in nature. Okay, and this blue litmus paper, it remains blue when the solution is basic. So let's see what happens here in the case of iron. You will find, students, that when this, you can see here, when iron reacts with oxygen and moisture, it forms rust, which is called the ferric oxide. Okay, so when this ferric oxide, when you will test it with this red litmus paper, you can see here this color is red, this is red litmus paper, and it turns to blue. See here, it turns to blue, this is blue color. Why it turns to blue? Because it is basic in nature. Oxides of metals, they are basic in nature, as they are turning red litmus to blue, and the solutions which turns red litmus to blue, that solutions are what? Basic in nature. Okay, so this activity, by this activity we can get the conclusions that all the metal oxides are basic in nature. Okay, I hope you all have understood this activity.